Where we at? Hello?
Yeah.
Talking to you.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, we're online. Hi, my name is Derek Conyer. This is Derek Conyer Experience every Wednesday. Had a little technical difficulty, but we made it through. Here we are. Every Wednesday, I get my narrative and get something off my chest. So today's subject is developing character. Where's that subject? What is that subject about? Well, for me personally, I see, I work with kids every day, and I find it interesting the culture difference between Americans and Swedes and foreigners. And I see sometimes that it's a difference. It's definitely a difference. I mean, the new generation is a little bit more crazy, to be honest with you. So to speak. But I think, for me, I think personally, the most beautiful people on earth have survived the ugliest situations. I just believe that. I believe that it's what you've had to survive, no matter how difficult it is, the more depth there is to you. I can recognize your luggage. I mean, I've been through all types of stuff, mentally, physically, emotionally. We all get tested. The bottom line is, if you remain bitter, some of us remain bitter and never grow from that. So our character gets stunted from the growth, from the pain we've had to endure, or what we've been through. So, I mean, everybody here is going through something or have to go through something. It's just the chemical makeup of being a human and surviving and living. Betrayal, whatnot, many different things. I mean, they're vast. The subject is vast, what you could go through. I mean, it's unlimited. But the main thing is that if you allow it to develop your character, or it can allow you to develop into something very bitter. Now, who has the measuring bar according to what we should have for as a character? Well, I mean, there's a lot of writers out there. I just believe in the Bible. One of the things that was significant for me is that I got a chance to grow up in church. My father was a preacher. My mom sung gospel music. So for me, it wasn't about the church that I learned character. I learned moral guidelines. But character came from me watching different people and trying different things myself, or going out on a limb and failing a few times and getting back up and dusting myself off and moving. I just believe that the more you go through, the more you develop your character. Whatever you aspire to be, you have to start at root one, square one. It's just for all of us. And I just think that most of the things that we've endured, if you allow the things that you've been through, this is the key factor. If we allow the things that we've been through to develop our character, or what I mean character is that I mean somebody who's kind, somebody who's honest, somebody who's know what it feels like to be in a scenario where they get beat. So so if you've been in a lot of vast scenarios, then you understand what life is and what can happen, and you can have compassion, you can have empathy. I've been broke before. I mean, and to be quite honestly, I mean, I can relate to homeless people. I was homeless in my mind. Restless soul, old soul used to tell me. Restless. Couldn't find peace nowhere. I mean, listen, we're all enslaved into something. For me, it's about being restless. I can't sit still sometimes. That's just my story. But my character was developed from getting behind whoopings, to be honest with you. I think that's what's missing. I mean, I ain't talking about beating nobody, but I mean, sometimes you got to actually, hey, you say spare the rod, you spoil the child. I mean, it's too many spoiled people out here who think that they are due and everybody owes them. That's the narrative today. That's the narrative today from the young kids. That's the narrative now that we have. Is that everybody owes you something, and you walk around thinking everybody owes you something, and it's a chip on your shoulder because you can't get everything you want. Listen, you can spoil a kid and paralyze them. You can spoil somebody and paralyze them. And I know, oh, I mean, I love my kids to death. And like you, I know people love their kids, but when you begin to catch them at every fall, I mean, some of those things that made you and me was the fall. So a lot of times things can actually, we say, you can mature quicker by the things that you've overcome. Or, like I said before, it's a choice to be bitter. It's your choice. I believe God develops character, develops our character, and puts us through certain type of things, preparing us for what we came here for. I mean, it's just the way it is. So you put a person in a room that doesn't belong in the room, you can see that immediately. But I think character is a very vital thing to get you in that door. I mean, nobody wants to deal with an asshole, to be quite frank. That's just the way I see it. And a moral guideline is very important as to what you won't do and what you will do. And bottom line is developing your character will tell us where you are as a person. So you got to go by what people do to you. That tells me a lot about who you are. I grew up wanting peace. I grew up wanting to relate to different people. I grew up thinking that I am you and you are me, which puts us on 11 even keel, no matter how much money you have or what type of job you have. I don't get into the particulars of living because I don't get high off of that type of supply. The narrative for me has never been about what you have and what you have to offer me. The narrative always has been to me, for me, is that God is the gift giver. And if I'm supposed to have it, I will have it. If it ain't mine, it ain't mine. And a lot of times I can find myself not wanting what somebody else has, but actually studying people and seeing, hey, how did they get that? So I don't have a hater bone in my body. That's one thing I never had to develop. I'm just a kind person. That's just the way it is. I try to be. I've learned that you have to give people guidelines. That's a part of my development of my character. I let people just do what they wanted to do when I was younger to me. And now I got guidelines and I don't deal with too many people. I got certain things you learn, even as a child, from putting your hand on the oven and burning your hand. And you learn that. And you learn not to put your hand on the oven in the fire. So you develop that from that point on. But the problem is that a lot of us as parents are trying to give the kid everything they never had, not realizing it's the very things that you had to struggle for that made you who you are. So as each generation gets a little older, the more things get a little particular and a little strange. So for me, I think it's very important to go through the process. Sometimes things will be hard. Sometimes things are hard. But I think some of these hard lessons are preparing us for a higher level, a secure situation where it's our purpose. So when we're finalized and we're going to that place and we're developing our bodies, developing our mind, developing a spirit about the whole thing, everything that you do, and trying to walk with this sense of peace. So when they enter the room, what do people get from you? Do you carry all your emotions on your shoulders? Can you balance yourself? Are you a balanced person? Spiritually, physically, emotionally, are you balanced? These are some of the character development things that must occur. At least for me to actually even deal with you. Because I mean, I hate to deal with people who are quite shallow, quite shallow. It's a lot of that, to be honest with you. But for me, I recognize your luggage. And if you ain't been through nothing, then man, you can't even relate. That's just the way it is. I'm not trying to say I'm above you or beneath you, but it's just that I'm on a journey. And I ain't got time to waste. And I'd rather deal with people who got something on their mind and in their heart. Besides trying to use people or aspire to be something or to... I have no idea what people are doing nowadays. I'm comfortable and I'm at peace. You know what I mean? I'm comfortable and I'm at peace. And when you are comfortable and you're at peace, it's a different type of feeling when you walk in the room and what people get from you. You just can see clearly when there's people who are just not there. personally and going and struggling. I'm not saying I judge anybody, because sometimes people can judge you according to when they first met you and say, oh, I know that guy, he's an idiot. Yeah, well, some of us are idiots and we're on our way somewhere. So you never can actually really judge somebody until they fully bloom and develop into what they're going to be. Now, sometimes you might be a part of the lesson. Sometimes you might be part of the inspiration. But whatever it is, keep on trucking, baby. Keep on trucking. We keep on learning. We keep on developing. And I'm taking every bit of what I've been through, the most ugliest situations, and I'm making them work for me. Like I said, the most beautiful people in the world come from the most ugly situations that they've survived. Developing your character is probably one of the roughest things that you want to do. But are you complete as a person? I think this time that we have off should be spent on reset and developing our character. Why do I have to, for example, why do I have to respond to everything that's negativity that comes my way, for example? Why am I consistent with caring about what people care about when they say something about me? Why do I care so much about what they think? If I'm stable in who I am, I don't care what you think. And I don't have to react and be pulled into a senseless and argument with you that makes no sense. So it's about being secure in who you are. And these are developments. These are steps. It just doesn't happen. So, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm still working on my character. We all are. But there is no graduation for me. It's not about being perfect. It's just about walking through life, respecting other people, more or less. That's what it's about. Because if your character's not developed, you don't have no respect for other people. Then you just use people as tools. So this is how it works. So a developed person, or a person who makes goals to develop themselves in every aspect of their lives, is the kind of people I want to hang out with. So push reset, let's start all over, and hopefully something I've said, or we can talk if you want to. My wall is wide open. Say what you feel, and I'm always willing to give you feedback, because some of the stuff is negotiable about what I'm trying to talk about, but at least it's off my chest and how I feel about different things. So I'm in the process of developing my character during this reset. God is good. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, well, my time is up. My name is Derek Conyer. We've kicked it. Hey, I hope I've shown you some love. Hey, I got to go right now. Can't spend as much time as I can with you, but let's see you next Wednesday, all right? Peace and head grease. See you when I see you.
Make time slow down. Hop off this merry-go-round. Out of this noisy old town. Find me some peace of mind. Tired of that business talk. People just blowing off smoke. Need a simple walk. Need me some peace of mind. Just a little peace of mind. A little satisfaction, a little peace of mind, satisfaction. You can fly private planes, you can drop your long fancy don't need fancy cars. Don't give me those sweet fat cigars. I ain't no bad superstar. Just want me some peace of mind. Just a little peace of mind. And a little satisfaction. Just a little peace of mind. Satisfaction. Satisfaction. Gotta make time slow down and get off this merry-go-round and out of this noisy ass town and find me some peace of mind. Tired of that bullshit talk and people just blow and smoke. I need to take a simple walk. I need me some peace of mind. Just a little peace of mind. And a little satisfaction. A little peace of mind. Satisfaction. Ay, ay, ay. Ooh. A little peace of mind. Oh, just a little satisfaction.